Time Podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In-Wheel Time Car Show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, it's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Hemmings used car, name the price.
All right.
And recalls this week. Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll bring you stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, Chief Engineer David Ainsley taking it easy. He's getting ready for our remote broadcast coming up here in a couple of weeks at the Hemi Hideout.
I texted him this morning. He was up early.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably been up all night.
Yeah, probably just getting in. You know how these young guys are.
Yeah, I do know that. I don't know that.
I was going to say.
But I remember that kind of from way back in the day.
If he gets his diary out and reads it, he
well, he used to take, his little horse and put it back up in the barn. And that's how,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go there?
No.
Okay. Some of the recalls this week, Tesla recalling 46,096 Cybertrucks in the U.S. Nearly all the Cybertrucks built in the first 15 months of production to fix an exterior panel that could detach while driving. Latest in a series of callbacks for the pickup since last year. Recall is over issues with a stainless steel exterior trim panel that can delaminate and detach from the vehicle. The way that they put cars together these days, a lot of it has to do with glue.
Yes.
And so the mounting points to the panel usually are glued onto the panel. Mm-hmm. Well, somebody...
and when you get them hot for various reasons on the parking lot nowadays in certain states, then that panel, the glue melts.
It's one panel. Not, the same two front or the two rear or whatever. No, it's one panel. So who knows, some sort of production mess up there.
Faux pas.
Transmission damage may cause wheel lockup. Cadillacs.
No.
CT4, CT5, CT6, and the Chevy Camaro 2020 through 2022, you're getting recalled. Improperly secured front seat frame. Nissan Sentra 2025. Land Rover, Range Rover for 2025, seat buckle may not latch. Also, the Land Rover, Range Rover Sport for 2025. There's certain glitches. The car manufacturers these days are not manufacturers, really. They're assemblers. Mm-hmm. And so they have outsiders that manufacture certain portions of the car. Some of them, General Motors is good about making their own engine, so is Ford. But the rest of the components, the fenders, the
starters,
suspension components, all that's done by suppliers. And I didn't realize this. I guess I didn't really think about it. But the suppliers are, if they manufacture something that is not good, it's on them. Mm-hmm. So those recalls, on them. Mm-hmm. Ugly. And then it's on the actual manufacturer of the car to bring it in, pay the mechanic to fix it through
the vendor.
Yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, they take the hit for the recall because it's their product.
You don't want to have recalls, but as I mentioned last weekend on our show, Ford, almost all of the recalls, and there were a lot of them, were mostly Fords. And Ford has been battling this issue for several years now. That's nothing new, but it seems to have ramped up recently. I think if I'm Ford, I'm going to go, are we engineering it the wrong way and telling these guys to produce it this way? Or are they buying the company that's the cheapest to manufacture the part?
Well,
or a combination of both?
To that point, and there's some electronic parts that are not only specific to General Motors, but they'll make a widget, and that widget fits that manufacturer,
Correct.
that manufacturer, for that feature to work. Now, if it goes bad across the board, it goes bad across the board. That's why you get all the manufacturers recall.
Well, Takata airbags is a great example of that.
That's exactly it, yeah. Because it's one vendor.
I know.
Yeah.
For like every manufacturer in the world. And, it's funny that they place all their eggs in one basket like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, they get to you get the counters, the bean counters start looking at economies of scale. Well, we can save 10 cents if we do this. We're not going to worry about 2 years from now.
Which for you and me, 10 cents is not a big deal, but for a manufacturer, you multiply that times millions.
A couple of $1 million, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's significant.
Yep.
All right. Now let's have some fun, shall we?
We're going to do that?
Yeehaw!
Let me,
Hemmings.com sold cars roundup.
give me a second.
This is
Go ahead.
you just pipe down over
right,
there.
I'll do that.
This is a segment that we do that Hemmings puts out once a week of the cars that they are auctioning off online. And these, for the most part, we like to pick cars that might interest you as a collector car, something different that you want to drive, got a little extra change in the pocketbook and ready to dive in. So here, my friends, is a 1967 Ford Mustang. And we like to have the boys here, Jeff and Mike, guess what the price sold was for this car. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of it. Does it have the original engine? Probably not. Has it been repainted? Probably. Does it have stock wheels on it? No, this clearly does not. You know, there's certain aspects of it, but that's not the point here. The point is that if you want to drive a 1967 Ford Mustang, put it in the garage, tinker with it, have fun with it, take it out and cruise ins and stuff like that, then this is my cup of tea, okay? So a 67 Ford Mustang, orange. It's got some rally stripes on the front of it and a stripe down the middle. And is that a stock hood?
No.
It's kind of hard to tell. No, that's not a stock.
Chin spoiler, striping.
Yeah, it's been modified. So what we would call a resto mod. So what do you think that sold for?
I'm going to go 14.
Oh, no, I'm going to go 28. Heitzman says 25.
18.9. Way to go, Jeff.
18.9. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things I see. There's no side mirror for the passenger, so that's a deduct for me.
That's easy to fix, though. You mean if you're a tinkerer and you like to do that, you can buy repro side view mirrors and you put that on there.
I'm not too fancy on the striping on the fender there either.
Well, you can take that off.
Yeah.
Sand it off.
Yeah.
Next up.
No engine emblems either now that you mentioned it.
Probably got a 6-cylinder in it. Whatever. Okay, here's one that, when it first came out, they had Chevrolet, in their infinite wisdom, did those built-in side skirts for the back wheels, and I'm going, I can't believe that they would build something that ugly. Well, as the years progressed, and they couldn't sell everybody on that, they finally opened up that back rear wheel well and made it look fairly decent. So this is a 1995 Chevrolet Impala, a 4-door sedan. I don't know if this is they had an SS version. They had several versions of it.
They even had a wagon.
They did.
Yeah, I loved it.
So this is a 95 Chevy Impala. Obviously, it's got aftermarket wheels on it. What do you think something like that would sell for today?
I'm going to go 16.
16. I'm thinking more like 12.
Wow. Really?
Well, it's just I've never seen those sell very good. Heitzman says 31.
Well, Heitzman, I think, is closer than both of you because it sold for $26,250.
Dang.
But he went over.
He did go over, but this isn't The Price is Right.
The price is wrong, Bob.
All right.
Man.
Next up is a 1976 Triumph TR6. Now, did this not have a 6-cylinder in it? I think that the TR6 had a 6, but I'm not sure because I think the TR4 had a 4.
I thought the 7 was when they went to the 6.
I don't know. It doesn't make any difference. What do you think some British thing like this would cost? I'm not a big fan of British cars.
No.
They're fun to drive. I had a brother-in-law that had one.
Okay,
A Spider.
They're like little go-karts.
All right, 76 Triumph TR6.
I have no clue. I'll say 16.
I'll go 20.
Heitzman says 27.
Sold for $21,000.
Dang.
I'll take it.
So if you're that looks pretty good.
But no, it does. It's very
red line tires on it. That's a little set off there.
Yeah.
Black interior. That's nice.
Okay. Now here's one for you old schoolers out there. This is
Let's see what Heitzman says before I say anything.
a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air. Wide whites. Now, they weren't wide whites when the car was new.
No.
This looks like a completely stock vehicle to me.
It's got the big red steering wheel
Oh,
on
wait
the
a minute.
inside.
What are those wheels? What?
No,
Those aren't stock wheels.
They're hubcaps.
Oh, the hubcaps.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
yeah.
Well, they're wheel covers,
Yeah.
Wheel
not
covers.
hubcaps.
Well, yeah, wheel covers.
Okay. But it does have chrome exhaust tips on it. So is it,
There went the price.
Yeah.
Did they offer chrome tips on 57? I don't think so.
I don't think they even offered exhaust, but that's
Well, there's that. So this is a two-door. It is a hardtop, so it's got the post in it. 57 Chevy Bel Air. What do you think something like this would cost?
I'm going 34.
Oh, I was going to go 22. Heitzman says 18.
Really? That's a pretty clean-looking car.
Yeah, but it's stock. I mean, that's
Well, you don't know that. It could
but I mean, if you look
could
at
have an LS engine under the hood.
Well,
Don't know.
it could have.
It has
could
the
have a
stock
Hemi below that.
stance.
Yes, and it's got the big red steering wheel on the inside, like that's.
It's
all
got
stock.
a red interior. Yeah, I got that. So the car sold for $38,325.
Ouch.
Well, I think that's probably a fair price.
What did you say?
He said 18.
Okay.
But to me though, something like that's got to be the buyer. I mean, that's not something that I don't think any one of us would buy.
I gotta have it. I gotta have it.
Yeah.
Spend the money on it.
It would
Well,
be
that's true. And it could get bid up pretty easily because it is a very collectible car.
Yeah.
Very iconic car. I mean, talk about American
but
classic.
the people that
that's
would
it.
want one that's completely stock and original like that that's going to be limited.
They wouldn't put that on this Hemmings auction. That would be at some Barrett Jackson auction, you know.
That's true.
So
Be complicit.
yeah.
you got to consider the source. All right.
All right.
Here's mine. I would really like to have this car.
Ooh, yeah.
A 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle.
Oh, look at that right there.
Now, it also
Look.
the hood the fender stripes on
Yeah,
this.
not a fan.
This would be Don's. That's very J.C. Whitney-ish.
Don't make me have to come down there and do ugly things to your head. I do like now. Does it have the cowl induction hood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have cowl.
Yeah, Kyle. But there's no.
The side stripes just don't do it for me
I don't
because
know.
that's not
It's kind of a Chrysler thing. A Dodge.
No, Corvette. I'm thinking the Corvette.
the GS. Yeah, I would take
Anyway.
that off of there.
Yeah.
I think I'd go some more stock looking wheels. They don't have to be completely stock, but at least have the look to it.
No,
Anyway,
I like the wheels.
70 Chevy Chevelle. Of course, you are from Neaterville.
Yeah.
How much do you think that would go for on the Hemmings sold car website?
I'm going to say 31.
Heitzman says 32, but I'm going to bump up back to 28.
That's not bumping up.
I know. I went the wrong way.
Well, theoretically, it is.
Theoretically, yes.
Depends on if you're laying down or not. So I would go for the 28
in
just
your day
because.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the sold car price is $37,538,
Oh,
and I think that's a fair price.
yeah. A little high, but
I think
it
it's
is
a little
nice car.
high. It just
You don't know what's got under the hood.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
all of that information is available on Hemmings.
Looks like leather interior.
All right.
faux
Next
leather.
up is we got to move along here. A 52 Chevy 3100. Now, this has got a patina paint job on it. It's been buffed up. They've also put a chrome grille on it. It's been lowered. It's got modifications to
Yeah.
it. Probably got a late model V8 in it, if I were a guessing man, along with power steering, because I don't think in 52 they offered power steering in
Nope.
pickup
Nope.
trucks. And
Nice truck.
Yeah, it is. I like this look. I like everything about it. So a 52 Chevy 3100. Now, I believe that's the 3/4 ton, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Anyway, what do you think that would
41.
go for? 41, Jeff says.
Yeah, Heitzman says 19, but I'm going to say 32.
38,850. 38,850.
I'll give you that one, Michael.
Next up is the 84 Mercury Cougar.
What? Looks like a Chrysler Cordoba.
My ex-wife. We had a big fight, and she went out and bought this car.
Oh.
And then within the year, put it up to the roof in a flood. Oh, it was great. 84 Mercury Cougar sold for. By the way, this car has less than 22,000 miles. I wonder if this one went through the flood.
I was
Maybe this
thinking,
was the flood car.
It could be the flood car.
84
value.
Mercury Cougar. How much?
ocean blue.
You never see these things.
No, you don't. Well, you wouldn't recognize it as a Cougar anyway.
Yeah,
if
and
you
you
saw
can't.
it going
Yeah,
down the
I'm
road.
sure that they've covered up all the rust from the flood.
$8,000.
8,000, Mr. Mars.
I'll go 10. Heitzman's up at 29.
How about 12.6?
Okay, Michael.
You know what? I want to own the Jeff Heitzman Memorial used car lot. I could make some money there.
Stick to spaceships,
And
Jeffrey.
then finally this morning, a 1988 Mercedes-Benz 560 SL. Now, in 88, this was this
Yeah.
is the cream of the crop. I knew a woman that had one of these, and I wanted to kill her. She was a stuck-up.
Is that number one or two or
God.
three?
I don't know.
Some woman that I worked with. 88 Mercedes-Benz 560 SL.
88.
That's another one of them. It's I'm gonna go 26.
I have no idea. I'm going to go. I have no idea. 20.
Heitzman says 33.
No, I'm going to go in the teens. Let's go 18.
14.7, Jeff.
Oh man, you need to jump on that one.
You, ladies and gentlemen, can get this if the price is right at 14.7, along with all of the trouble that car will bring into your life.
It's got nice wheels.
I guess. I wonder if are those real wire wheels, or are they hubcaps?
I want to go back to that. I want to go back to one of these.
What are you going back to?
I'm going back to this one because the license plate was. Oh, that was one of them had a New Jersey license plate. I think it was this one.
Could
Yeah.
be from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any difference. Anyway, so there's that. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Coming up, we've got the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll have stories making automotive news headlines this week. Thanks for joining us on the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We continue right here in just a couple of minutes. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Loopy Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Loopy Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Loopy Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Loopy Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Loopy experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Loopy beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Loopy Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Loopy Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. We hope you'll join us on the upcoming Hot Rod Tour of Texas beginning April 24th in Victoria. You'll get all the latest from the tour all weekend long, and Saturday the 26th we'll be streaming our live show from the tour stop at Spindle Tap Brewery right here in Houston. Thanks for joining us today here on In Wheel Time. Time now for the cruise in and events calendars. Jeffrey?
Absolutely. Well, we've got next Friday, we've got the Biff Busby Hot Rod Cruise In. We talked about this one a couple weeks ago. It's at the Topperwine Road. It's 12702 Topperwine in San Antonio. It's a cruise that happens every Friday night from 6 to 10. There is a $5 admission, but you get a $5 coupon to use at Biff's, which is the local restaurant there. Live music or a DJ. Either way, they're going to do that for you.
We know Biff.
We know Biff. Different Biff. I think they're related, though.
Okay.
And then you got the family cruise in on the 29th here in Santa Fe, Texas. It goes from 5 to 9. You've got a lineup of food trucks and things. You got live music. No outside food. They support the small businesses. $5 parking includes your show car. It's the 3 Acres Food Truck Park at 10648 FM 1764 Road in Santa Fe. And lastly, we're going to take a run out to San Antonio. It's the 6th annual River Rod. It is taking place at 178 Landa Park Drive in New Braunfels.
Oh, Landa, sure.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of tubing and rafting and things going on.
Oh, come on,
there.
Jeff. You've never done that?
I've never gone down.
We're going.
No, I'm not with my back. I'll probably sink. Vehicle, but there is a fee.
We're going to have the In Wheel Time Tube-a-thon.
Tubathon.
And we're
It's where-
talking about
see,
inner tube.
I know. I was going to wear a tube top.
And you, sir, a tube top. Although we all need them.
I have a support tube top. Anyways,
I'll tell you what. You can drive the tube truck, and you can follow us down the river.
with one of those big flags like we were talking to.
Here I am.
Okay, but it's actually the Worst Fest location is where they have all that.
Sure.
300 entries. Now, you have to pay for your parking. It's $55 for limited space. There's 20 spots, and you get a nice grassy area, grassy knoll on the
And there's a lot of grass to be smoked at this event,
I'm
too.
telling you. That's
Secondhand smoke.
$45 for a spot on the blacktop, but that's and of course they have it different areas. It goes from 8:30 to 4:30, and that is on the 28th, which is next. Was it Saturday? Saturday. Okay, there's that. And then, of course, John was talking about it, the Hot Rod Tour. We've got the Hemi Hideout on April 5th, so there you go.
Yeehaw.
Tube tops.
Do we get some with our logo on it, maybe?
We can. I can have it. You want them embroidered? Or
What would you suggest? Embroidered or printed?
I would say printed.
Printed.
Yeah.
The other way to itch and irritate the
Yeah.
skin.
Sort of like wearing burlap or something.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
exactly.
Burlap tube tops. It
All
could
right.
be a fashion statement.
This is kind of a long story. This is from Automotive News. Ford Motor Company produced nearly 400,000 F-Series Super Duty pickups at 2 factories in the United States in 2024. Conversely, every engine came from Canada or Mexico.
Uh-oh.
That now has the markings of one costly problem for the automaker. Unifor, which is Canada's union up there, Local 200 President John Dean Agnolo, 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 who represents about 2,000 hourly employees at Ford engine plants in Windsor, Ontario, said tariffs would put his employer in a tough spot. The Windsor factory also supplies the iconic Mustang 5-liter V8 engine. Sam Fiorani, Vice President of Global Vehicle Forecasting at the U.S.-based Auto Forecast Solutions, said 39% of all Super Duty engines came from Windsor. The other 61%, all of those, the 6.7-liter V8, came from a plant in Chihuahua, Mexico. When it comes to the remaining F-Series pickups sold in the U.S., 25% of the engines were the 5-liter V8 sourced from Windsor. Remember, he's got a Windsor in it. He's got a Cleveland in it. D'Angelo said that to get ahead of the tariffs, Ford has hired trucking firms and secured warehousing in states such as Michigan, and Ohio to transport output from Essex Engine Plant in Windsor over the border. Ford stockpiling parts tells suppliers to keep shipping amid tariffs. D'Angelo estimates that each truckload of engines would face U.S. $75,000 in duties if they were transported over the border under a 25% levy. One trailer holds 45 Super Duty engines or 66 5-liter engines. They are key to assembly at Ford plants in Kentucky, Michigan, and Ohio, which employ almost 20,000 workers combined. I bring that up because no telling what's going to happen and how this is all going to play out.
Yep.
We're hoping that good things play out in the end. Elon Musk sought to reassure Tesla employees that despite rocky moments, they should hang on to their stock in an unannounced all-hands meeting Thursday in Austin, which the billionaire chief executive streamed live on his social media network X. If you read the news, it feels like the Armageddon, he told employees during the meeting, which lasted past 10 p.m. local time.
Ooh.
He says, I can't walk past a TV without seeing a Tesla on fire. I understand if you don't want to buy our product, but you don't have to burn it down. Shares in Tesla have plunged more than 40% this year, giving up gains from a stock surge that followed President Donald Trump's inauguration. Keeping an eye on that for you as well. And here's one for you. The head of the Secret Service met with GM executives this week in Michigan to discuss the next generation armored SUV as the automaker works on the upcoming version of the presidential limousine. In 2018, the Secret Service began using the latest version of the custom-built Cadillac presidential limousine after the prior version was introduced in 2009, just before Barack Obama took office. It's a tank.
Yeah.
Literally,
Beast.
Call it
the Beast.
they call it the Beast, and I don't know. They won't give you any details on it, but based on the looks of it and how thick the doors are, that thing's got to weigh 50,000 pounds.
Kevlar-lined truck tires.
Is that what they are?
Yeah. They're like a commercial E grade, and then they build up from there. So it's more.
And they
than
have
that.
9,000 pounds of pressure inside those tires.
I don't know about that, but yes, probably pretty high.
Stellantis is offering buyouts worth up to $72,000 to hourly workers at more than 20 sites, including assembly plants, parts distribution facilities, and its Michigan proving grounds. The voluntary termination program is available to those in the Detroit and Toledo, Ohio areas who have been at the automaker for at least a year. And then it goes down from there.
And didn't all the UAW just have a contract renewal last year? I mean, what's going on with that? Is that all part of this? Something new?
I don't know all the details to that.
Skirting the rules? I don't know.
It's a mess is what it is. Hyundai, but the Stellantis thing is kind of a standalone deal.
It's their own internal strife.
Yeah, because of that idiot that they had that he ruined everything. Hyundai Motor and GM are closing to finalize a deal for Hyundai to share 2 electric commercial van models with the U.S. auto giant, according to a source familiar with the talks. And Hyundai documents reviewed by Reuters. In return, GM might provide Hyundai with pickup trucks to sell under its own brand here in North America.
Wow.
Documents reviewed show Hyundai is considering deals with GM that include joint purchasing or development involving computing chips, next-generation batteries, and battery materials. Don't be surprised if you see a Hyundai pickup truck coming your way down the street soon, because all they got to do is put a different badge on it. They'll probably put a different front end and badging, and that's about it.
That's what they do nowadays.
Yeah, and they used to do that in the past too. I remember that actually, was it Nissan that did that? Chevrolet was part of that. It's been too long, but they used to do
the
that.
Chevy Love was in Isuzu.
That's right.
Right. And I owned one.
Did you?
Yeah,
How was it?
It was. We moved down to Texas in it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's back when little trucks were little trucks.
It was a 4-wheel drive. It had the white wagon wheel spokes on it. It was black, red interior. I was styling.
You were. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We will be right back. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, April 3rd to the 5th at NRG Center. Join us for the fun, fast-paced, high-energy Mecum experience with 1,000 vehicles up for grabs. For avid collectors, first-time buyers, and enthusiasts of all ages, there's something for everyone. Bring home your dream car. Register to bid and buy spectator tickets now at Mecum.com.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.